Welcome to Socio Classes. In this video, we are discussing the most important questions for the subject Public Administration, BA second semester, paper Indian Administration. Short questions: Colonial Legacy, two functions of Supreme Court, two functions of State Council of Ministers, residuary powers, center-state relations, two functions of State Secretariat. Who administers the oath of office to the governor? Who decides whether a bill is a money bill or not? How many members are nominated to the Rajya Sabha and by whom? Who communicates to the president all decisions of the becoming of the Council of Ministers under Article 78? Give two functions of Cabinet Secretariat, two powers of Supreme Court, state two functions of district administration, meaning of habeas corpus, state two safeguards against the misuse of delegated legislations, give two methods of legislative control over administration, give two reasons for the growth of delegated legislation. How can the judges of Supreme Court be removed? What is the tenure of governor? How many subjects are there in union list? Name two of them. Write down four functions of Rajya Sabha. Mention the conditions to impose national emergency in India. What is impeachment? Distinguish between cabinet and council of ministers. Enumerate four states with bicameral legislature. Mention the field from which president nominates members in Rajya Sabha. Enlist the discretionary powers of governor of state. Write down four subjects of union list. Mention the qualification to become judge of High Court in India. What is writ of quo warranto? Mention four functions of deputy commissioner. Give the composition of Indian Parliament. How is the Prime Minister of India appointed? Give two powers of the Prime Minister in relation to Council of Ministers. Give two discretionary powers of the governor. Give the composition of Legislative Council of a state. Name the sessions of the Indian Parliament. Name the writs issued by Indian courts. By whom is the Cabinet Secretary appointed? Name any two modes of legislative control over Indian administration. Give any two functions of the Cabinet Secretary. Give two features of Indian administration. What is the composition of Rajya Sabha? Who appoints the chief minister of a state? Give two functions of the state legislature. How can the judges of High Court be removed? Give two methods of legislative control over our administration. Explain the writ of mandamus. What do you understand by delegated legislation? Give two functions of chief secretary. Give two functions of district administration. Give two reasons why India opted for a strong center. Mention the articles relating to emergency. Who all take part in the election of the president? Which house of the parliament is presided over by the vice president? Tenure of Rajya Sabha. Give any two functions of the governor. Who appoints the chief secretary of the state? How can the Chief Justice of High Court be removed? Two defects of Indian judicial system. Qualifications of governor. Taxes levied by union government. Two ways of judicial control over administration. Article 356. Delegated legislation. Term of Lok Sabha. Nominated members of Rajya Sabha. Qualifications of governor. Two ways of judicial control over administration. Delegated legislation, two functions of Supreme Court, residuary powers, center-state relations, two functions of State Secretariat, two qualifications to be President of India, two features of Council of Ministers, term of Lok Sabha. How is the governor appointed? How many subjects are there in union list? How is Chief Justice of India appointed? Good governance, two functions of Cabinet Secretary, two functions of State Secretariat. Unit 1. Discuss various features of Indian administration. Discuss the composition and functions of Lok Sabha. Discuss the composition and functions of Rajya Sabha. Discuss the appointment, power, functions and position of the President of India. Discuss the appointment, power, functions and Position of the Prime Minister of India. How is the President elected? Give his powers and functions. Critically discuss the emergency powers of the President of India. How is the Prime Minister of India appointed? Discuss his function and role. Discuss the composition, functions, and role of Union Legislature. Unit 2. Discuss the administrative relations between the center and the states. Discuss the composition and functions of State Legislative Assembly. Discuss the composition and functions of State Council of Ministers. Critically discuss the center and state legislative relations. Discuss the appointment, function, and role of Chief Minister of State. Discuss the power, functions, and role of Governor of State. Critically examine the center-state administrative relations. How the Chief Minister appointed. Discuss his powers and position. How is the Chief Minister appointed? Discuss his position and functions. Unit 3. Discuss the composition and functions of the Supreme Court of India. Discuss the composition, functions, and role of Supreme Court of India. Detailed note on composition, functions, and role of High Court of India. Discuss the legislative control over administration in India. How does legislature exercise control over administration in India? Define delegated legislation. Discuss the reasons for its growth and safeguards. What is delegated legislation? Give reasons for its growth in present time. Write a note on delegated legislation. Unit 4. Discuss the structure and functions of district administration of your state. Discuss the powers, functions, and the role of cabinet secretary. Elaborate the appointment, functions, and role of cabinet secretary. Cabinet secretary has a very important role to play in Indian administration. Discuss composition and functions of the cabinet secretariat. Write down the composition, functions, and role of state secretariat. Discuss the appointment, functions, and the role of chief secretary of a state. Discuss the appointment, functions, and role of deputy commissioner in district administration. Give the role and functions of the deputy commissioner. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.